everyone. Welcome to our Q&A session today. Hope you will like it and you will enjoy it. My name is Wiam Harib. I'm a senior property consultant with Arms & McGregor International Realty, specialized in marina. Today we'll have in this session a man who has been in the business for more than 20 years. He's the CEO and founder and co-founder of Arms & McGregor International Realty. Aside of running Arms, he's running several other businesses and companies like Morgan's International Realty, BBP, DOP, and several others. He's the published author of 3 books and more than 200 articles in the real estate investments overall, sales, and life coaching. Let's welcome Mr. Makram Hani. Mr. Makram, how are you?
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm very good.
Just to correct,
let's start with the...
Just to correct something,
Sorry?
I'm a partner in companies like Morgan's. I don't run them. They have great CEOs similar to Elias in Morgan's and others in other companies, but I'm a partner and co-founder of them, a founder, and I run Arms & McGregor. Yes, that's something else. Thank you, Mr. Wiam, and let's go ahead, please.
Very good. Let's start the first question. Like many owners today and many owners nowadays are asking what's next? What will happen after the lockdown in the coming 3 to 4 months? So I believe, and I want from you to tell me your opinion, and where do you see the market after this period of time?
Okay, so let's first understand the situation that we're up to today and where are we expected to go. Yeah, situation today is dire. It's a tough situation that have not been seen similar to in the last 100 years, at least 120, 130 years. This situation is worse than many of the previous situations because of how we live today, because of what constitutes big pressure into our politics, into our environment today, and because how our economies are put together today. At the same time, it's very important to understand where did we come from. We have lived a period since the dot-com bubble in the early 2000s, and then post that, the crisis in 2007, 2008. And what happened after that, and I've written about that extensively, what happened is a build-up to an eventual crisis that was supposed to take place at any moment. And that crisis was supposed to be financial. However, with the politics and the political situation worldwide, there was way beyond financial impact and way beyond financial damage that was expected. Now, what's happening is repolarity. Distribution of the world powers is something that we should all consider, although we don't all understand, and we don't understand all parts of. But we need to consider. There is redistribution of the world power. There is agendas that we don't probably read. We can't read, we can't analyze, maybe we can't understand well. What is going to happen, however, is at a point of time, resettlement. There will be either a dual share of power, or there will be another pole or the same pole rise again, and things go on back to normal in a way or another. A normal, however, it's a new normal. Normal post this chaos, because I wouldn't call it a crisis, is different than the norm before that. There is a new norm. And part of this new norm is some main elements that will define it. One of them is re-establishing of values of everything, values of manpower, values of human relationships, values of currencies, values of learning, values of e-learning, digital, values of all kinds of assets, commodities. All values will be redefined. And this is a major part in what we should look at to understand where are we going. Because again, it should be scientific. I am in real estate, so obviously when somebody asks me what's the best asset to invest in, I'm supposed to tell him property. But unless we really are coming to that from a scientific background, maybe we would be doing the wrong choice, and the wrong choice defines not only what the client would win or lose, defines also what we would win and lose. So, and in Arms and McGregor, by the way, and I'm sure you know that very well, I'm sure many people know that very well, we have not risen with the rise, we have not boomed with the boom, and yet we have not crunched with the crunch. What we did is we were always on a sustainable approach with our customers. We never overdid it. We did it, in our opinion, the right way. We're not perfect, but we're good enough. So what's coming? What's coming is a re-evaluation of assets, re-evaluation of commodities, re-evaluation of everything around us. And part of that re-evaluation is looking specifically in the coming time, now as we move forward, at intrinsic values. And when we talk intrinsic values, we talk about a cow has an intrinsic value because you can milk it, have the milk and the cheese, and you can eat it. If you're not a vegetarian or a vegan, you have value there. And that's an intrinsic value. You can't do the same with an ounce of gold, can you? I don't believe you can.
No, sure no.
The property has intrinsic value. And today, probably, people discovered more than ever the value of their properties. Okay? They discovered more than ever the value of how they live. They discovered more than ever the value of their gardens, the value of their space. Land and property has an intrinsic value. And the difference between the intrinsic value of property and that of a cow is that when a cow is eaten, it's gone. Property, you can get that value out of it and still get it out for a very, very long period of time. Cool?
Okay. Yeah.
That's what we need to understand. Now, when we understand that, alongside our understanding of what's coming, and what's coming is tough for markets, be it financial markets, be it commodity markets, all markets. And the supply chain, not only disruption, it will be redone. There will be a new supply chain spectrum, if we can say, that will come and force itself onto the world. All of that tells us that what's coming is tough, and it will be tough for a period of time that won't be short. Our best option is to go to safety, diversity, and safety. And when we talk about diversity and safety, diversity not just for diversity, diversify into what matters, diversify into what's safe and have probability to grow, and you understand, because again, losing in something you do understand is safer than winning in something you don't understand. That's where we're going. So if you're in property, probably there is where you should go. Hope I answered your question in a clear way.
We have a question about the property and other industries. However, there's a question here from one of our clients. Like, what are the stimulus steps that Dubai Land Department you think will take in order to encourage the existing buyers and investors, or any other investors, in order to keep on going and buying in Dubai?
Cool. First, let's agree that now is not the right time to jump into conclusions and take decisions. So for owners, it's not the right time to jump on and sell off, because if you do sell off, there will be a smart buyer out there who will jump on and benefit from your panic. Cool? Let's agree with that. Let's agree with that with all owners and all stakeholders in the market. Now, there will be many steps probably that Land Department will take. There are steps that Land Department started to take already. Steps similar to re-evaluation of all service charges to support investors. They're supporting residents as well. Remember, authorities do have a communal responsibility as well as responsibility towards investors. So yes, it's great to go out and show that we're a capitalist city and we support the investors perfectly. However, we have a community to maintain, and if that community is not maintained, it won't be better for investors. In the long run, it will be harmful. So although in the short run, some of the initiatives may seem hurting to investors, similar to the decision that investors cannot vacate or evacuate properties today and get tenants out of those properties, that is good for the long run. That is good for our city. That's good for the country. That's good for your investment. That's good for my livelihood. That's good for our future. That's good for everything. So anyone invested in the city should support such decisions. The coming steps are many. By the way, the steps that have been taken till today are huge, not only from Dubai Land Department, from other authorities. Imagine that if you are in Lebanon today, in my village, or in Boston today, and you want to go and do a power of attorney, it's easier for you to do a power of attorney with the Dubai court online rather than go to the center of your area or region to do a power of attorney locally. Can you imagine that? That's what is happening around us. It's amazing. And this will be grown into other things. Now you can sell your property without being present. And there's other systems in place, being put in place now, that will hopefully make the process seamless and effortless. In my opinion, after all what's happening resolves, Dubai will be seen as the safe haven. And hopefully this is what will take place. Now, nobody really knows, but we hope so, and everyone is working towards so, I believe. The Dubai Land Department is taking initiatives to reduce fees. Dubai Land Department is taking initiatives alongside other authorities to maintain the livelihood and the feasibility of livelihood of residents. And remember, as an investor, that's very important to you. It's very important to you that Dubai Economic Department reduces fees for licenses, and DWC reduces rents, because if you're an investor, you need a tenant, and the tenant is probably an owner of a company there or an employee on a company there. So taking care of all of those is key. And I believe all of those initiatives sit together on one table and get us to where we want to go.
Okay, very good. Third question. In terms of this whole situation, bad situation in the world, and what we are facing in regards to COVID-19 and Corona, and in comparison to all what's happening, why do you suggest Dubai to be like a city to invest in rather than investing in US, Europe, or Far East, let's say Singapore, Sri Lanka, or other countries?
Part of the answer for that question is within that question. So
yeah, I know.
Yeah. So are you serious? Now, I'm not saying Dubai is the only place to invest. I am saying that where would you rather be today? In New York, Singapore, or Dubai? Yeah. And I believe that there are countries and cities, and Singapore have done a great example till now, hopefully it continues, that are putting also the right kind of effort. Okay. Dubai is a place that such efforts, and UAE in general, by the way, and again, it's so pleasing, it's so satisfying to see that the place you chose to create a future in sees that you belong and belongs to you as well. That kind of relationship that have been built recently and empowered recently is amazing. It would have taken 10 crises to build something like that. It was built in a few weeks. Dubai is taking very proactive measures to support investors, to support the well-being of residents, to support the businesses available around. Dubai is taking also initiatives to support residents who have been stranded around the world. So imagine you're in your country and you're a resident in Dubai, but you were stuck in your country. Probably today, Dubai is more connected to you than your state.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. This is one of the reasons that Dubai will stand out. There's many other reasons. Similar to Dubai is more competitive today. Similar to our drive towards digitizing everything. And very soon, and have you applied for a permit to exit your house?
Yeah, I applied yesterday.
I applied for one permit yesterday to exit today between 10 and 1 o'clock. I had to pay someone a salary. Cool?
Yeah. Yeah.
That exit is the first exit for me since the beginning of the crisis. I didn't need to exit and I enjoy it at home. I applied for the permit and I got the permit in like 6 minutes. So this is service that is given by the government to me. Let me ask you, as somebody, and you're somebody who serves customers in a very good way, and we're known to serve customers in a good way.
Thank you.
Do you serve customers that way?
Not in 6 minutes.
I don't believe. So when the government is performing on something in a way that where the private sector needs to learn from that, you understand that you're in a place where the government is so proactive and building things the right way. All of that is to be counted for Dubai. And I believe the whole world sees that. There's no two people today, because in general, when you chat with people, there's different opinions that are thrown around. Currently, there's a prevalent opinion, and this is it.
100%. Makram, I'm sure that you heard about postponing the Expo till October 2021. How do you think this will impact the market that day?
It's very good. Very good. Let me tell you how is it good. First, it was postponed, then it has hope to exist, and to exist in a better environment. Imagine that Expo was not postponed. How would Expo be? With a lockdown globally, with people afraid, regardless of the lockdown. Again, I was chatting with someone a few days ago and he said, oh, hope that the lockdown finishes. I said, so do you believe that when the lockdown finishes, I'll be driving my car and going to the mall? Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. The government is guiding you to do what's right for you. If the government, one at a time, will need to go under pressure, or there's economic pressure, there's financial pressure, there's several kinds of pressure. There's emotional and mental pressure in the city, and would need to release or free that lockdown slightly. But it's up to you to take care of yourself at that time. The government has adults, hopefully, taking care of children.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you believe postponing the Expo is very good action.
Positive, and has another positivity.
Which is?
After this period, which I don't expect to be short, I expect it to be long. Okay, and I know people don't like to hear that, but that's the reality. I'm super positive, but it's very wrong to give wrong hopes at such times. So
yeah,
it will be long. After that, people will go out and life will happen again. Yeah? Imagine that after that happening, after 4 to 5 or 6 months of that going back to normal, you get an event similar to Expo, a spectacle similar to Expo happening in your city. How positive is it?
It will not be effective as the things are normal, you know?
It will be, in my opinion, much more effective. Much more effective. Because if you are after a lockdown and after depression and after a period of non-normal business happening, and then that takes place, it would have a great impact. Now, that's not to say that it wouldn't have been better that there's no Covid-19 or SARS-CoV-2 and we're doing it at its time. No, that's definitely.
It will be hard to be perfect. This is what
that's much better. But if you ask about postponement, no, it's good to have it postponed.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think developers will do now? Will we see like a new projects in the market, or will they release new projects like as Amar, Miras, Damak, or other developers? So what do you think about that?
Maybe new products. I've been talking for 8 years now about developers needing to go lucrative and stop accelerating and abusing traditional ways and methods and start utilizing new ways and methods. In our Q2 2019 investors letter, I believe, I talked about that extensively.
Yeah.
You need at a point, you can abuse traditional methods to a way. Extended payment plans, smaller apartments, less quality, cheaper price. You can utilize that in a way to a limit. And beyond that limit, it stops being as effective. In my opinion, we've abused that. Now is the time for new happenings to occur, for new methods to be followed. And in my opinion, developers here will be moved. And look, stress and pressure is always a means to go for innovation and new creation. And I believe now is a time where this will start happening. What you will be seeing is developers will come up with innovative products. Developers are not short of stocks on their books. So I do not believe or assume that there will be a master development launched anytime soon, although it may happen. Dubai and Dubai developers have shocked us for a very long time now, and it may happen again. But I don't see it happening, although I don't see the future. I don't see it happening. What I see happening is developers going more lucrative, creating more value, going more lucrative on the whole approach of how to sell, what to build, what's the product we're selling, rather than just playing with the payment plan, extending it, taking the task of and this will happen, and this is good for the market. Developers at the time took the task of the broker, the sales arm, took the task of the financier, the bank, took the task of the landowner, the developer. Developers are people who are professionals in developing, and organizations that are professional in developing. Leave all the rest of the tasks to the right individuals. Okay, and in my opinion, there will be a drive towards that, which will be positive because a better product will be built, sold, and delivered.
Okay. Makram, what tips you can give to the owners? Because honestly, I'm receiving several calls every day that from owners, like the check of the tenant bounced, or the tenant couldn't pay the rent. With these criteria, so what tips do you give to the owners in order to solve these problems? Because now there's special agreements from the Dubai department.
Okay. First, be reasonable. Yes, we understand that there's two kinds of tenants now. A tenant who's really in trouble and who really wants just support to be able to pay you for the rest of his rent, and another tenant who is abusing the situation. And that's understandable. In every system, whenever you create something, whenever you give support to someone, there's people who will abuse that system. And that happens all over the world, from Canada to UAE. Today, you need to be reasonable. If the tenant, on the other hand, was reasonable, take it forward and reason. My main advice is do not be so rigid and non-flexible, because you will be hurt as an owner doing that. And I'm an owner currently of properties where tenants, thankfully, are mostly paying their rent on time with no issues. But whenever somebody cannot pay the rent on time, try to communicate and liaise with him. If you want support from a broker, from somebody who's in the business, from a third party, communicate with the right party. Yeah, you can call Wiam, sure. You can call Wiam for that. However, do not be rigid. Do not say no, this or never, because then if the tenant goes rigid on the other side, you will end up in trouble. Do not be non-flexible, because always there is tenants who really may be in trouble. There's tenants who really may be under pressure. And I advise to everyone in the world, be slightly more empathetic and be slightly more soft, okay, or calmer, if I can say, because today, more than ever, people are under pressure and tension, and people feel that their life is out of control. And when that takes place, people who've built for years feel that things are falling off their hands. And this may make them so aggressive and hostile. Cool down slightly as much as you can, because you're also under pressure. You're a human being as well as everyone else. Cool down slightly so that we handle things together in a proper way, so that everyone gets out of it healthy, and alive. And alive is not only living. Living alive means has life in his life, okay, and has aspects of life in his life, and that's major.
Okay, Makram, honestly, many agents of friends of mine, they are in very bad condition. They stop their life, they are lost, and in some cases they are out of business, you know. So how they can pass the situation?
Living through the situation. Look, we talked about it probably a few meetings ago when maybe Shams talked about some friends of his or many agents that are in such a situation today. Look, there's many people in such a situation. There's people today who do not know their morning and their night, who do not know their work day and their evening, and this creates problems with their families. If you're married, separate yourself from your house in the day. Sorry, if you're engaged as well. If you're engaged as well.
Yeah.
So what you need to do at all times is make sure that as an agent, let's start with an agent, because an agent is mostly on commission, is mostly currently with very little business. Make sure that you wake up in the morning at the same time you used to wake up. Make sure that you are more active. Make sure that you take through your day with a plan. Plan the night before, which is what we used to do all time, yeah? But now more than ever,
100%.
companies have a responsibility. Companies have a responsibility. If you notice, we used to have one meeting a week prior to this. Yeah? Sunday morning meeting. Now we have 2 meetings a day and a training in the middle of the day. Why do we have that? Why are we spending my time, everyone's time in the team for that? We're spending that time on that because I have a responsibility. The company has a responsibility towards every single one of the team members. Okay, and part of that responsibility is the emotional and mental state and health. And if you remember, one of our colleagues asked a few days ago, man, what would I say? We have 2 meetings a day. It's like I'm not missing you guys. Okay, it's like there's no news. And I told him, you need to have news. You need to create news. You need to fill your day in a way where the evening will be news. Because no one will offer you life today. No one. But you can make life. I'm not saying that you will have enough opportunity or as much opportunity as you used to have 6 months ago or 6 years ago. What I am saying is you have no choice. Because if you believe you have the choices, the only choice that contains life in is this choice. Stand up for yourself and your family. Do not lose control of your life. Wake up at the right time. Sleep at the right time. Netflix won't create a future for you. Crying about it will take you nowhere. There is too much happening every day that can get you to cry. It's your choice to cry or not. Because you can create too much in a day that will help you not cry. One of our colleagues did 2 sales one day and 2 leases the other day. You remember? Few days ago? You've done a sale last week. Now, is it as good as we hope it would be? No. No, it's not. Our revenue is the same. Not really, guys. We are not making the money we used to make. Okay? And we are not making profit. People say today it's about survivorship rather than prosperity. I would tell them, today is a mindset of prosperity that will take you to survivorship. But you need to keep prosperity in mind without putting so much pressure on yourself. Without putting so much pressure on yourself. Benefit of this time. You posted something on LinkedIn a few days ago I loved. You said, you guys, you love, in a way, I don't remember the exact words, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You always love to work from home. You remember many of our colleagues said, yeah, but I can work from home. It's nearer to my viewing or whatever before. And to say no, you need to be in the office. Now you have it. You have the ability to work from home. Now you have saved yourself. Look how more productive can you be. Half an hour to an hour of commuting in the morning, half an hour of commuting in the evening. Commuting all through the day. all of this can be replaced. You tell me, yes, but I can't sell as much. I can't sell maybe if I'm not showing people physically property. Although all the technology is in front of us, supporting us to be able to do so. Haven't you created more value in the past few days, Mr. Wiam? Haven't you gone for
much more value than before?
Not only that, you've learned how to do things you've never learned how to do because you never needed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And you started offering people, and I believe you'll evolve of this mess much better than you started it, at least from one or two aspects.
Yeah.
And you will, and many others will as well. And this is key for everyone to be able to grow and live the right way. So my fellow agents, remember, it's a tough period.
One more question before you end this question. It's related to it. Do you think that the new agents in the market has a bad luck because they joined like 1 month back, 1 month and a half back, because they don't have the opportunity to generate business as other agents in the market?
They have the opportunity to learn their job properly, hopefully now. So I'll give you an example that I always used to say. Now they're obliged to have it. I always used to say, look, medicine is 9,000 years old approximately. You study for 9 years to become a doctor, and then a few years of stage, and then maybe you become a star surgeon somewhere. You go to become a real estate agent, 36 million years of a science. 2 days and a half, you became a real estate advisor, and you start lecturing about real estate and where should people invest their money. And if I give you 1 million dirhams, if you make by mistake 1 million dirhams through a commission, you don't know how to invest it, and you end up investing it in a wrong way and losing your money in real estate.
Yeah.
Now is a time. If you are an agent since a month, you have 2 to 3 months now, maybe 4, to learn your business. At this time, you have an advantage over everyone in the world. Do you know what's the advantage we have?
Tell me.
Let me tell you. Do you know that somebody who's in the market now for a month, and somebody like you who's been in the market for a pretty good time, and somebody like some of our colleagues who've been in the market for 10, 15, 20 years, you're all approximately, your advantage on each other is very limited. Why? Because you're all sitting in the same house using Zoom or any other technology to conduct your business.
And they are having the training that maybe 2 or 3 years back we didn't do this training like every day, 2 or 3 sessions, you know.
Sure.
So they are having much more.
It's an opportunity to develop. And for agents, by the way, you can go to our Founders Academy. Go to Arms & McGregor website, press on Founders Club, Founders Academy. There's hundreds of hours of videos. There's hundreds of hours of hundreds of articles. There's books that you can download for free. And we're available to answer any question and support you at any moment of time. If you and your agency are passing through a tough time, and this is not a recruitment call, okay, I have enough to take care of currently, and most important for me now is every member of our team who is present in our team to make sure that they prosper. However, if you're in an agency and maybe your agency is not providing support, contact us. Stay in your agency, because I believe the owners of your agency may need support now. We may make, and this is something I'm studying, an open meeting once every week where anyone from any other agency can join us on that meeting. Again, not to recruit him. We're not trying to recruit people or take advantage, although we're in the business to take advantage of opportunities. We are in the opportunities business. However, it's very important for me that we support anyone else. You know, in one of our companies, we have a sterilization service. I had somebody call me and say, hi, how are you? You know what? You are presenting the service. We cannot afford, we're in tough times in our company. We have a car rental company with too many cars, but now most of it is not being rented. And we want to sterilize and sanitize those cars. Can you tell me more about the details of the service? I put him in touch with the professional because I don't understand it technically. And I told him he will help you get the knowledge of the chemicals so that hopefully you can apply it maybe alone if that's allowed. Okay. He said, do you need me to pay you for that? No, you don't. Now is the time more than ever that we need to support each other. Okay, I don't hope to make millions now. I hope now for what I've built in the past 20 years and built strongly to keep and maintain. I don't want today to grow my company to double.
Yeah.
I want today to make sure that every single individual in my company has the right mental state and emotional state and financial state if possible. And I cannot talk to 60 people every day, one by one. Now, in my morning meeting, I finish the meeting and somebody who wasn't happy in the meeting, I catch him after the meeting in a special meeting, me and him. This is how I want to take care of everyone around me, and I believe everyone needs to do the same. So support each other. Everyone in the agency community, feel free to enter our Founders Club. Feel free to take the help you need over there, and feel free to, at the same time, connect with us if you need any support.
Okay. Thank you, Makram, for your helpful and beneficial answers. Actually, we are out of time. Thank you for everyone for watching. Please let us know if you have any other questions. You can send us through our email, invest@armsandmcgregor.com. And see you in other Q&A sessions or webinars maybe.
Let's do the coming webinars and probably involve more people live. And now we collected questions from customers and from members of the team. So let's do that more often. Thank you, Wiam, for suggesting this and for coming up with the session and for your time. Guys, there's individuals in every team who are standing up for the challenge. Wiam is one of them. We have many in our team who thankfully are doing that. Mazen, he's working more than he's ever worked, probably. He's never worked that much. And I'm enjoying it. I'm proud of having that around me. Avril, supporting people who are in different departments. When you see an agent supporting someone who's in a different department just because he cares about the whole environment. When somebody of the team calls me and says, look, there is this individual in the team, he seems not happy. Okay, why? He has problems in his family. And so he cares, and that's major, guys. Take care of each other. Thank you, Wiam, for the session. Feel free to come with any other questions. Guys, subscribe to our channels, subscribe to our channels, and like our videos, because by the way, Thomas was telling me yesterday, man, you need to tell people to subscribe. I said, do you think this is the only reason people are not subscribing? He said, yes, probably. I said, no, man, my face and the bad content that we're offering is probably what's deterring them from subscribing. Not because I'm not asking them. But anyway, let me do what Thomas told me to do. Subscribe, please, guys. Join us. And by the way, we weren't doing an recruitment drive. However, whoever would like to join Arms and McGregor, whoever stands enough, is ready to wake up every morning, is ready to work all day properly, is ready to contribute to the world, to his company, to his family, to his community, feel free to contact us through armsmcgregor.com, and we will be happy to assist you, and we will be happy to have the right individuals added to our family. Enjoy your time, and thank you, Mr. Wiam.
Stay safe and stay home, don't forget.
Ramadan Kareem.